Hello, 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 everyone. This is Tony Moore of Boss Up Radio. Hopefully, you're having a great day. Just came in to just have a word with you to inspire and educate you and to empower you to do what you need to do to make your life more beautiful. So, today I just wanted to talk about the power to achieve. The power to achieve. It's something that we hear about. It's something that Good morning. Good morning. Thank you for joining me. It's something that we hear about. It's something that it seemed like it's far fetched for some people, especially if you grow up like me, where I grew up in the projects and I lived in government housing. At some points, we lived in foster care and then with family members and basements and shelters for women and their children, battered women and their children. So when you're dealing with something like that and you just get started, the power to achieve something that's here often. No. What we hear is survive, scratching and surviving the life, get in to fit in, do what you have to do. But seemingly there's always it's not said, but there's an understanding that you're going to just take their place, and you're going to take their place, whether if your parent was a teenage mom, then the expectation is that you'll end up being a teenage mom. If your parent was a high school dropout, oftentimes the expectation is, oh, this is what's going to happen, especially when they failed once. Here's the thing is that statistically speaking, most people don't try to go outside of their comfort zone. I think the statistics is that only like 70% of the people stay in their familiarity, and the sea is sameness. They don't rock the boat, they don't step out, they don't take a leap. And those who do, if they do it one time and they fail, then they usually revert back to what they know, right? But when you revert back to what you know, you don't allow your dreams to you don't allow you to achieve more than you've ever seen or heard before. Now, see, when you want to achieve something bigger, better, and more than you've ever heard before, you're gonna have to like literally get out of the boat, get out of the zip code, get out of the projects, get out of the job, get out of the educational system, get out of whatever it is that you are in where people look like you and talk like you and walk like you, and they encourage you to be you. Be the person that they know. Or be the person, if you're the jokester, then they expect you to always be the jokester. If you were the poor kid, then they really expect you to be the poor kid. We see it in movies where most people, the children take the place of their parents. But every once in a while, there's somebody who says, the statistics is not going to define who I am. My reality does not dictate my possibilities. And that's what I want to talk to you today with regards to when you want to go beyond what you've seen, beyond what you've heard, beyond what's familial, beyond what's familiar. And when I talk about the power to achieve, I always think about how my ancestors who had nothing, I always go back to Harriet Tubman. She had nothing, but she had a heart and she had a mind and she had an understanding that where she was not where she was meant to be. And she escaped. And she could have lived on the fat of the land, but she kept going back to help people to appreciate that their realities did not dictate their possibilities. You see, she got a chance to break through what she was going through. Now, when we get a chance to break through what we're going through, some of us just stay at the next level. See, there's levels to this thing called life. There's level to this thing called life. And when you just stay at the level that you know, hey, Sammy, hey, Patricia, when you just stay at that level, then you get comfortable. Like my cousin Patricia, hey, how you doing? She works out, she does, healthy mindset, healthy goals. She has exercise plans. She has exercise plans and she has exercise goals. She looks awesome. She looks great, but she knows that where she was not where she was meant to be, right? So where she was, she's like, I don't like this. I don't like reaching a certain age and looking like the statistics, what everybody else looks like. I want to do something different. And that's exactly what she did. She decided to do something different. Hey, Cynthia, good morning, good morning, good morning. But she realized that in order to do something different, she had to go from where she was to where she wanted to be and say, how do I get there? Even my girl Cynthia out in Florida, she beats a face like nobody's business. And I watch her beat a face and I try to beat a face. And I'm not good at that. but because she has learned the steps to going from to drab to fab, and she does it quickly. She doesn't take 45 minutes, but she's learned the steps, So what steps do you need to learn? See, here's the story. Here's the story. When I was going through what I went through, I was like, I'm not going to be the project kid. I'm not going to be the welfare kid. I don't want to have to get up in the middle of the night and run for my life with mama so that we can just go to another shelter and have another zip code. I wanted something different. So I was just like, look, I'm not good at singing. I didn't have the money, the backing, the sponsors to do the pageants. And I had the welfare mentality and I didn't want to be begging people. So I didn't know this whole thing about asking for money because people would seed into you. I didn't know anything about that. So I stopped what could have been because I was too ashamed, not knowing that when I got to the another level, there's different rules. Each level has different rules, right? So I didn't know that. And I didn't know what I didn't know, and I didn't ask for help. See, some of us escape where we were, and we don't. When we're like, "This is not where I'm meant to be," and then they get off of the struggle bus, but you don't ask for help. So when you don't ask for help, guess what? Ultimately, when it gets real stressful, you're going to revert back to what you know. So if you were a cursor, if you got mad, if you told people off, you know, even at the next level, that's what you're going to do. And at the next level, there's different rules, there's different levels, there's different rules, there's different expectations. So what you need to do, and what I had to develop for myself, was I had to develop my own development plan. See, I didn't know about the development plan, but I knew that once I got out of the projects and once I got through Milton Hershey School, then I ended up at University of Penn. And at University of Penn, they didn't have too many people like me because I was already a statistic, an anomaly. And statistically speaking, I wasn't meant to succeed. I mean, I didn't know anything about critical thinking. I didn't really know anything about having a syllabus and being responsible. I didn't really know about doing, meeting with the student advocates. I didn't know anything about that because I was super smart and I was naturally smart, naturally gifted. So I didn't really have to study. So when I went from a straight A student to a straight DF student, because, I didn't know, so I procrastinated. And I didn't know that by procrastinating and getting and just hooking up with the wrong dudes. I had other stuff on my mind. I found alcohol. I found men. I found myself in a bad situation. And I was just like, you know what? I'm probably one of those statistics who isn't meant to achieve at this level. See, are you at that point right now where you're like, you know what? I'm done. I'm tired. No one's going to support me. No one's going to help me. Here's the thing is that you're right. No one is going to support or help. But when people see that you're no longer want to be on the struggle bus and you want to succeed and you start asking and you start implementing, because there's people who ask me and I usually help them out along the way up to a certain point. But if they keep asking and they're not implementing, then I'm already like, I'm done with you because they were done with themselves. See, you don't want your words just to be something that you heard. No, you want to have an achievement goal or what we call a development plan. So, why I went from an A, then I went from an A student to pretty much an FD student in a matter of 2 years because I didn't know that I couldn't keep doing what I always did. I couldn't do the fly by night. I couldn't just, come off at the cuffs. University of Penn was far different than Milton Hershey School. And I almost failed myself until I started looking around and seeing what other people were doing. Then I start asking people, hey, how did you do this? I see you partying with me and hanging out with me. They're like, we came in to get a degree. So yeah, we're having fun, but we have to focus on what we want. See, that's the key to achieving is focusing on what you want. See, even the Bible, it says, write the vision and make it plain. So you have to focus on what you want. When your friends come up, when time come up, when TV shows come up, well, you got to focus on what you want. So whether or not, if you want to lose weight like I do, it's not enough to just be in a support group. You actually have to do the work. You actually have to stop eating crap. You actually have to start working out. You have to put in the sweat equity. Boom. That's what we have to do. It's our own development plan. Hey, thank you for the love. I see you. I see you. Hey, Michael. Hey, Teresa. How y'all doing? Even with regards to if you want to get out of debt. I remember When I was so bad in debt, I got to the point where I had different accents for different creditors who was calling me. Don't judge me. My credit score was so low that it looked like it got to the point where it was in the 500s. But I realized that people judge me on what my score was. And then I start hearing that even jobs would judge you based on your score. So if I didn't do something for myself, i.e., set better expectations, because that's the power of achieving. You got to set better expectations. You got to be like, you know what, this I'm not going to keep swimming in the sea of sameness. I'm not going to keep doing what other people do. If there's some hunger in your spirit down in the belly of your soul, then you have the power to achieve. You just got to set it out. You got to write the vision. You got to make it plain. Hey, Sharon Monet, Hollywood, even with regards to book writing, I wanted to write a book. I think I started like 12 books. If someone said, Tone, I need you to write a book in like 2 weeks on da da da, I can probably do it because once I have an assignment, So it's great to have a vision, but without that assignment, without being emotionally connected to the outcome, nothing gets done. So even when you're writing a book, it's not just enough to tell your story. Who cares? Everybody got a story. But when you have a purpose behind your passion, it will push you, it propel you to get in position to be someone else's provision. I don't know who that was for because I did not wake up like this. But when you have a passion, a purposeful passion, it will propel you. Okay? It will propel you and push you forward to get in position to be someone else's provision. So it's not enough to just be like, I want to tell a story. It's more than enough to be like, I want to help someone with my story. I want to tell them about my pains. I want to tell them about the failures. Then I want to tell them what I did to pursue better, greater, and more than the statistics. See, I love outliers, but when you look at the outliers, they grow up in the same zip code. They get in trouble like the same way. They're down and out, but then they say this is not enough. They say yes to their yes. See, a lot of people say yes, but you don't say yes down in the belly of your soul. You don't say yes to make dreams possible. You don't say yes to give yourself permission, even if no doors are open for you. You have to say yes to be in your best so that you can bless yourself and be a blessing to others. So what I did at the University of Penn, when I start asking and looking around, I start hearing a few things. I start realizing that one, the tests that were given, someone had already had them archived in the library. So I could find out about the pretest and I can always study in advance. Boom, didn't know that. Then I start hearing this thing called study groups. Didn't know about the study groups, but good morning. Hey, Lamar. But then I start hearing about the study groups and people had a plan. They were like, we're going to study for this. We're going to start doing our tests. We're going to start doing our reports. We're not going to do it late in the midnight hour and try to get an A off of a 5-hour work plan. Come on now, somebody. You have to give yourself permission to achieve your goals. So, one, you have the vision. And then two, you take the steps. You just start looking around to the left and to the right, and you start taking the steps and be like, what are they doing that I'm not doing? And once you realize what they're doing that you're not doing, then you need to implement. So you have the vision, and then you set up an action plan, and then you see what works and what doesn't work. And then you commit to the goal. It's not enough to have a vision. You have to be committed. You got to be committed to the goal, to your next. So when I was committed to not being a failure, not being a dropout, not reverting back to the projects, not going back to the 717, I was just like, I'm committed so that I can be the best that I can so that I can go to law school. So I had the vision, I had the action plan. I start taking the exam. I start surrounding myself with different people. And then I started committing to what I wanted most. I started committing. So when a date showed up, I said, no, I can't do a date right now. I have to commit to my grades. If somebody said, hey, let's go out and do whatever. No, can't do that. Come on, let's go to drinks because I made my goals. I made my goals a priority, not the people, but the goals. See, until you make your goals a priority, that's what I'm talking to my son right now. you know? So when I learned how to do that, by the time I went to law school, boom, 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 everything was cool because I had retrained myself to not be a failure, but to be more successful at what I wanted to do. See, I didn't learn that in high school because I was a naturally smart girl. I had to learn it when I was failing myself because I didn't implement newfound information. And when you don't implement newfound information, everything that you learn becomes a figment of your imagination. So when I started saying, I'm better, I'm worthy, I have a vision, I have a plan, I'm committed to taking the steps, I'm holding myself accountable, and then I go to the next level. See, there's levels to this thing. Most of us think that we can birth out a 21-year-old, eight-figure successful company without at least starting with the three figures and the four figures and the five figures and the six figures consistently. It's a formula. Yes, here's the formula. You gotta build it, okay? You gotta organize it, you gotta showcase it, you gotta sell it, and you gotta secure it. That's every level as a business person. You gotta build it, you gotta organize it, you gotta showcase it, you gotta sell it, you gotta secure it. That's the formula. But if you're not building and if you're not organizing, see, a lot of us build and think that we can just build something off the internet and then we showcase it and we get eight figures. No, it's levels to this game. So when you want to set out your own achievement plan, whether it is to lose 15 pounds, whether it is to save $1,000. That's our goal right now, is to save $1,000, not that so we can spend it in July. Save $1,000 and put it into a money market so that we would almost be penalized if we take it out. We have to really think about why we want to take it out. So if you don't have $1,000, I want you to be a part of that money challenge, that bossed up money challenge, and you save it for yourself. Because we know that when you start building saving 1,000, you've retrained your mind to realize that every time money comes your way, it doesn't have to be spent. With that get you gotcha mentality, with that consumer mentality, we've been cultivated to consume other people's projects, not necessarily cultivated to create what we want. I want you to create that bank account. I want you to create a healthy plan. I want you to create a parenting schedule. I want you to create a business optimization schedule where you can build the business you want. You can organize the business you want. You can showcase your brilliance. You can secure your assets, and you can keep on, up showcasing and up leveling to the next level. Hey Zandra, how you doing? Sharon, I see you. I know, write that book. I only have to write a chapter. But I know even when I write my chapter, I had to be like, what do you want to say? And then why do you want to say it? I broke it down, with regards to it, writing a book, writing a business plan, where you are, where you want to be, and then you think about those things. It's almost like I'm a baker, so I know that if I try to play around with other people's recipes, I have to follow their recipes to a T, like six or seven times until I have already trained myself as to taking the steps. Then, if I'm going to accentuate anything, I already know what the basic steps are. See, a lot of us hear the six or seven steps and then we just want to do it one time and then don't understand why we're not successful. See, this is what I know is that you have the power to achieve your dreams. You have the power, you have the wherewithal, you have the wisdom, you have the gifts, you have the abilities. You have to consistently commit to where you want to be. The same way I was able to lose 50 pounds and then gain back 60 pounds and then lose 40 pounds and gain back 50 pounds, I know that I already know the formula. But now I have to commit to taking the steps day by day so that I can achieve my dreams. Same with you. Whatever your goal is, I want you to write your vision. Write your vision and then write down the three goals that you want to do in the next 30 days. I don't want you to stretch yourself out. Hey, thank you, Cynthia. I don't want you to stretch yourself out. I want you to do the 30-day goal. So we do have a wish list, but if you say, oh, I need to do all this all at one time, it's not going to happen. There's actually an African proverb that says that the dog has four legs and walks down one road. Four legs and walks down one road. So when you have those four dreams, I want you to just take one step. You know how they say, do that one thing until it's successful. Build it, own it. You know what I mean? Just showcase it, secure it, sell the hell out of it until you become successful. My one thing, I didn't know. I was like, okay, what's going to be my one thing? Is it going to be lawyering? Is it going to be business coaching? Is it going to be entrepreneurship? Is it going to be women empowerment? Well, guess what? I got a chance to put all that one thing into the Lady Boss Club. So in the Lady Boss Club, I get a chance to be the lawyer, be the business coach, be the woman, talk about God, remind them about the scriptures, how we're supposed to be the head, not to tail, how we're supposed to be lenders and not borrowers, how we're supposed to be live above and not beneath, but we have to be obedient to the word of God that says, do unto others, build your best life, overcome the obstacles, sow into what's next, secure yourself, protect yourself, use God's power, and position yourself to be God's provision. Okay? So it's just more about, as far as like, I see you, Cynthia. I'll see you, Cynthia. I'll send you the link to it and you let me know. So that's ultimately what you have to do is you have to boss up. In order for you to achieve your dreams, in order for you to get out of the sea of sameness, in order for you to no longer be allow the statistics to dictate your existence, you're just going to have to boss up. You're going to have to, believe more is possible. You're going to have to overcome the obstacles. You're going to have to seed into your next. You're going to have to, you know what I mean? You're going to have to showcase your brilliance. You got to use God's power and you got to protect yourself throughout the in between. You already have what it takes. You have the power to achieve. If my God says that you can work out your own salvation, clearly you can work out your own success. You just got to believe it. You got to get off the struggle bus and start stepping out on faith. I don't care where it is, in the shadows, in the valleys, you got to step out on the waters in the high seas. You already have what it takes to be great. You got to believe it, to receive it, to achieve it, to be it, to know it, to grow with it, to seek it, to speak it, to seize each and every opportunity, and to command your day. Because when you don't, then guess what? Then no one else will. Nobody else is going to want it as much as you want it. So you're going to have to want it more. You're going to have to own it more. You're going to have to be there for more. You're going to have to speak there for more. You're going to have to write your vision, commit to the vision, and allow yourself to grow. Grow with the Holy Ghost flow. Wherever he leads you, wherever he guides you, wherever he dictates for you, whatever it's craving at your soul, whispering in your ear, that's where you go next. That's how you achieve better, greater, more. Because there is no success in the comfort zones. God will never take you. He will never take you where he's not giving you the grace to get through where you go through. So this is Tony Moore of Boss Up Radio. And I totally want you to understand and appreciate that you have the power to succeed. You have the power to achieve your dreams. You have the power to be the woman of your dreams. You have the power to be God's boss lady. No good thing will be withheld from you. Everything is possible. Just allow yourself to be unstoppable. And we'll talk real soon. Bye bye for now.